Hello all and welcome to yet another Deconstructing Vega session. Today we are here with John, the guy who does the magic behind the charts in the Vega testnet. And we'll be going through a deep dive into the huge library of charts we have in Vega. John will be going through the design process behind it, some of the basic features and advanced features we have in the Vega testnet, as well as some features that will be coming up in the future. There'll then be an opportunity for Q&A and for how to submit new feature requests and other things you want to see in the testnet in the future. So yeah, without further ado, I will hand over to John. Whilst John is speaking, feel free to ask questions in the Twitch chat, where I'll pick them up in about 20 or so minutes towards the end of the session. And then if there are any questions, we'll hand them over to John. And if not, you can ask questions in the Discord or in any of our other channels, such as Telegram, where one of our team will probably pick them up. So I will go into hiding, hand over to John. Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, so quick introduction before we jump into looking at some charts and the meat of this. My name is John Worley. My background is in data visualization. And what that really means is creating interactive web-based visualizations, graphics, charts, that sort of thing. I'm the lead developer behind the Vega charts. So ultimately what that means is if we add a new feature or update the charts, I'm the person who makes that happen. So let me just pop up and share my screen. Okay, so just to reiterate what we're going to be looking at, I'll talk briefly about the thought process behind the charts in Vega, and then we'll take a look at what's available right now on Testnet before taking a look. And I think this is probably the more exciting thing, what's coming up, because we're at a point in the development where we're able to roll out new features almost on a daily basis. So there's quite a lot of stuff just about to be released, and there's stuff a little bit further down the pipeline coming, which I think would be interesting to quite a few of you. And then we'll touch briefly on where and how you can give feedback. So in terms of the thought process, my take on it is, well, I think the first question you should probably ask when doing this sort of thing is, well, why not take an existing off-the-shelf solution charting library to do this? For example, we could build on top of, say, TradingView's charting library. And I think that's a really good question. And for us, I think the main point is there's quite a few features and there's information specific to the Vega platform that we want to be able to visualize ourselves. And that can be quite hard to do with a sort of third-party charting system. So by taking control, doing the development ourselves, we can really make use of the sort of interesting, exciting features on the Vega platform and bring them out in the charts. That's what drives a lot of our thinking here. But the starting point is to get the basic charting functionality right. That's the foundation on top of which everything else is built. So that's what I'm going to show you now. So if we hop over to, let me share my screen again. We're going to hop over to Testnet. So this is the main application, which some of you will be familiar with. Some of you might not be. Don't worry, we're not going to take a look at everything here. It's just going to be the charts we're going to focus on. So here we've got our main chart in the middle. Not a great deal of data in, unfortunately. Testnet was reset, what was it, around 11 a.m. this morning. But I just want to run you through the basic features of what we've got in place on Testnet at the moment. So we can zoom in and out. So I'm doing this with the mouse wheel. And by default, we always keep the most up-to-date candle locked to the right-hand side of the screen. So as you zoom in and out, you'll always have the most recent candle visible. We can also zoom in and out by dragging on the x-axis. And then, as you'd expect, we can pan left and right. So I'm using a mouse here. This should also work on a touch device like an iPad. So I just can pan left and right. And you might have noticed we scale the data as you move left and right. So it always takes up most of the screen. But if you want to turn that off, you can, if you drag on the y-axis to zoom out, that will turn off the auto scaling. So now we're in what I call free panning mode. So we can move around, look at anything we like, zoom in on a particular candle, particular data point. And then I think a feature that might go missed without me mentioning it is, and I find this super useful, is if we double click anywhere on the chart, it will reset everything, take us back to the original settings. And the same applies for the axes as well. So if I click on the price axis here, the y-axis, double click on that, it will automatically rescale and fit the data on. And the same goes for the x-axis. If I double click on that, that will rescale the chart. And in particular, it will always take us back to the most up-to-date candle there. So that's most of the sort of interactivity, sort of moving around, zooming in and out. What else do we have going on? So we've got a set of controls above the chart. So any chart you have will have these standard controls. So the first one lets us specify the resolution or the interval. So how frequently the data points are represented. So at the moment, we're looking at 5-minute data. We could swap that out for hourly data. I'll go all the way down to 1-minute data. Currently got 6 intervals available. I was in a feedback session last week. We had quite a few requests for more options here. So that's something I think we'd like to add, just give people more options there. Next up, we have a few different ways of visualizing the data in addition to your standard candlestick chart. So I have a straightforward line here that's looking at the closing price, and also an area chart with, you've probably seen this type of shading before. So just some different ways of looking at the same data. We'll go back to the candlestick. And then I think a really important feature is the ability to look at technical indicators, do the calculations, visualize the results. So this control here gives us access to two types of things. So we're calling these overlays and studies. And the distinction is really one of overlays are calculated values that make sense to overlay on the price chart, where studies make more sense to look standalone. So we've got a small selection here. When I look at what's coming down the pipeline, we'll see we've expanded out the overlays and studies. But for example, we can look at the MACD indicator. And when I say study, what that means in practice is we get a second chart below the main one. We're currently limited to one study at a time, but that's not an inherent limitation of the charts we've developed. So I think in the future, we'll relax that requirement and allow you to have multiple studies sort of stacked up vertically on top of one another. And then let's put on an overlay. So this is a Bollinger Band overlay, pretty straightforward. We can see the upper and lower values there. And we've got price monitoring bounds. So if we have price monitoring set up, we'll get the upper, lower, and reference price. We can visualize those on the chart. So that's an example of something coming from the Vega platform, and we're able to visualize it in the charts. So that's a quick whistle-stop tour of what's currently running on Testnet. I'm going to hop over now to a sort of up-to-date development build, which has a few more things. And so these will be released with the next time we do a release to Testnet. And just to begin with, like with the double clicking, something that not everyone might be aware of is you can have as many charts as you like. You're not limited to one main chart. So here I've got 2 charts, this one on the left looking at 1-minute data, the one on the right looking at 5-minute data for the same market. And if you're wondering how to do that, if you click on, for example, the plus next to a chart, and you search for chart, you'll see you get a whole selection of ones. And then that will be added. And if you want to place that, we can just drag that around and put that wherever we like. So yeah, it's something we're building into the charting library, which is we can have as many independent charts as you like that fits your workflow. So I just wanted to mention that. Okay, so what has changed in development? So we've added one additional chart type. It's not super exciting, but we've got the OHLC chart type there. And I just added this morning, actually, some extra overlays and studies. So for example, we can add an exponential moving average to our chart. We can read off the value at the top left there. And we can add a relative strength index study to the bottom here. And oh, just to mention, because I think some of you will notice this straight away, coming soon will be the ability to sort of drag the divider between the study and the main chart. So I think typically, certainly when I'm using it, I would prefer to have the study taking up maybe, say, the bottom quarter and the main chart taking up the rest. So at the moment it's fixed, but I definitely intend to add the feature to allow you to drag that around. Okay, and what else do we have going on? So I'm just going to close down that study. Let's just take it back to the most basic candlestick chart. So something we've been working on for the past week is letting you visualize your orders and your positions on the charts. So it's the first, for me, really exciting feature. So let's go ahead and let's submit an order. So something like this. Okay, so what's going on? So just bring your attention down here to the bottom left. So here I have my orders panel, and you can see that order has been submitted, it's active. And then the new thing we've added is we can see that order on the chart. So you can see the type, it's a limit, good till cancelled, the price, and also the quantity. We can add a few more. So none of these are meant to be legitimate real trades. It's just to show you what we can do with the charts now. So you can see another one on there. And let's put in, it would be good to see a position. So let's put in something like this, which is sort of guaranteed to be filled. Great. So there we can see our live position. We've got that in green, orders are in red. And for the position, that should basically mirror the information we have displayed in the positions panel down here. So this is just about to go into the next release. I think it's really cool. The next sort of iteration of this is going to be to let you cancel orders and close positions from the chart. So we can already cancel an order by clicking on this cancel button. We can close a position in the same way down here. We have designs and we're going to implement basically a small button to the right of each of these orders or positions, and that allow you to cancel and close those out straight from the chart. It's just another way of making it easier for you to do your trading. And then this will be a little further down the line, but the place we really want to get to is to let you submit, create orders from the chart itself. So you can choose a price level and have that submitted as an order. I think there's quite a few of us who really want to see that go in. So we're building towards that. So just to give you a flavor of where we're going there. Okay, so what else is coming through? Well, it sort of already exists, which is, it exists. There's a slight bug in it, but if you on Testnet at the moment, but it mostly works. So if you click on the little camera icon, that will copy the chart to the clipboard. And then, for example, we could paste that in and tweet that out. So that's the chart I was just looking at. So I think that's quite a neat feature. If you've got any ideas about what you might want to do with the charts, maybe you want to download them, put them in a presentation, we don't really know. So if you've got any ideas about how you might use the ability to export charts, we'd be really interested to hear about that. Right. So, so you remember right at the beginning, I was talking about the thought process. And one of the driving principles we have is we're building our own charting library because it lets us do Vega-specific things and really take advantage of the platform. So I'm just going to jump back to my slides. This is just a design. And the interesting thing for us here is on the right-hand side, this is just a very rough and ready idea about visualizing the margin requirements on Vega for a market and a position. So you can see the different lines here representing, for example, where you might need to post more collateral. So this is something that the calculation is specific to Vega. And so we can build this into the charting library, the charts in Vega, and give you that really rich information so you can make the best decisions. You can trade with as much confidence as possible. And I stole this from the team this afternoon. So we're just looking at, this is us looking at ideas for giving you an overview of several different markets. So what we might do is place lots of different charts in a grid. So lots of fun, cool, hopefully useful things coming down the pipeline. So hopefully I've given you a good overview of what's currently there and also what is very imminent, and also some of the things that are a little further out, sort of weeks, possibly months ahead. I just want to finish off by touching briefly on feedback. So, and we might talk about a little bit more about this when we get the Q&A up and running, if you have any questions. But I think number one for me is probably Discord. So if you're on Discord, feel free to provide feedback there. On Discord, I'm John, simple as that. So yeah, please do just any feedback is good. Any bugs you find would be really useful as well. We're doing our best to find them and squash them, but if you find them, just don't worry about being critical. Just let us know if there's something wrong or not working how you expect. Please do let us know. And then I'm just gonna mention one other thing. This will be more interesting to you if you have a sort of technical software development background. One of the things we've chosen to do with the charts is develop everything in the open. It's all open source. The project lives on GitHub. We've called it Pennant. That's named after a particular technical analysis drawing, which looks like a pennant or a triangle on its side. So this is all out in the open. We're not expecting you to jump in and contribute code. What it does mean is you're more than welcome to file an issue just straight against the project. And then if you're really curious, all the project management, all the sort of tasks are out in the open as well. So you can see what we're currently working on. So I'm currently working on showing the orders on the chart, what's done, what's in the to-do pile. So yeah, if you're really curious, you can dig in and find out exactly what we're doing. Yeah, that's all I have to say. Bit of a whistle-stop tour through the charts. Yeah, let's see if anyone has any questions. Back over to you, Dagan.
Thank you, John. That was really insightful. Yeah, also great that you touched on the fact that we're trying to open source as much of our behind the scenes work as possible. We want Vega to be an open community thing, and we're trying to make a lot of our resources open to people to inspect and to give comment on or get involved as much as they possibly can. No questions from the Twitch chat, although we've got some people that are quite keen and enthusiastic with what you're doing. Question from myself, what does OHLC stand for? And is that something people have been requesting, or why did you, why add it?
Yeah, that's a good question. OHLC it displays the opening price, the highest price, the lowest price, and the closed price. That's the OHLC part, and it just does those with little ticks. And why we added it? I guess something I should say is things like adding chart types and new technical indicators. That's relatively easy. I think the way I've built it is such that adding those on is quite straightforward. And I think our approach is going to be, rather than us coming up with a big list and adding them, we'll be driven by what people are requesting. And why I added that one, it was really for me an exercise in how quickly I could add something, and also I could write some documentation about how to do it. So in the future, again, I'm not expecting anyone to contribute code right now, but in the future, if you desperately did want a particular technical indicator, you could go and add that yourself. So we've got the documentation, we've got examples of how to do it. So yeah, but definitely the way we're going to get technical indicators added initially is you request them, and I will add them.
Well, thanks, John. You heard it here first, guys. Make your requests. Come find us, hound us down on the Discord and or Telegram, and ask for what you need, and we will try our best to get it added to the system. That's it for deconstructing Vega charts. If you have any further follow-up questions, go to the hashtag Testnet channel in the Discord server. That's the place where we're most active, or the Telegram, or make a thread on the community forums. We host these kind of sessions quite regularly where we look at something different. This has been Charts. Thank you all for listening and engaging. And this recording will be available on our YouTube channel in the coming days. Thank you. Thank you, John. Thank you, our audience. Until next time.
Thank you.